I'm getting ready to get back to working on my kitchen, but before I do that, before I get into the actual builds, I thought I would do a quick little kind of update tour type thing. The last video I made was to make the drawer that's in the bottom of this cabinet right here. And I showed this part in a picture in the video, but I didn't demonstrate it on camera. This is actually a cabinet that rolls out on drawer slides like this. And the idea here is that you'll be able to access everything here comfortably right in front of it and then push it back in. And there'll be another one exactly the same on the other side right here that'll pull out the same way and you'll access it from this side. And I thought this was a very interesting space-saving type idea. So the build for the second half of this is coming up. Up here is what appears to be a hole in the ceiling. This is actually for one of the pot lights, the last of the ones that are over there. And I haven't installed it yet because I'm thinking about moving this over. The problem with the location of it right now is it's not dead center of this cabinet. And I don't know if that'll bother me. You know, it'll bother me a little bit, but you know, maybe I'll leave it. I don't know. Maybe I'll change it. I don't know for sure. Anyway, this area right here is not finished taped yet either, so I have to finish that off. Moving further into the room, this is the countertop, of course, and the base cabinets. I've done nothing basically with this since finishing the countertop last year. So what I want to concentrate on in the next video is actually a set of drawers for underneath the sink here. And there'll be more details in that video. I don't want to talk about it too much here. Just want to update a little bit on the countertop, if I'm still happy with it. I know some people commented on it being dark and tiles and the grout lines and all that. The thing about dark is if you balance it with enough light colored stuff, like all the woodwork that's in this room will be this very pale maple color. So that really, you know, offsets, those two colors offset each other. And as far as the grout joints go, there's absolutely no issues with that because I use epoxy grout, and epoxy grout sets up almost as hard as the tile itself. And this tile is unbelievably hard and tough. And it's like bulletproof almost. People talk about concrete countertops and you know how attractive they look and how durable they are. Concrete doesn't even hold a candle to this hard porcelain tile here. You can lay pots on it that are smoking hot and it will do nothing to them. It's easy to clean. It doesn't scratch. Like I said, it's virtually bulletproof. And a couple people asked me about backsplash. There will be a tile backsplash. I'm not sure what it's going to look like yet. I haven't picked it out. But I need to get the rest of the cabinets installed before I do that because the backsplash will come up to the underside of the cabinet and I don't want to guesstimate. I'd rather have the cabinets in place and then install the tile backsplash. Moving to the other side of the stove here, you can see that there's still an old cabinet in place. There'll be a new one to replace that, basically the same size though. Here above the fridge, I have a similar thing to what I've shown in that tall cabinet over there in mind for this. Something that rolls out on long drawer slides that, you know, you can access. To finish things off here, there's going to be a panel right beside the fridge here that goes all the way up. So this looks like a tall cabinet on its own. And I've been contemplating putting a, you know, wooden fronts on this fridge, but I'm not sure yet. The problem with this fridge is the stainless steel actually rusts in spots and you know, you clean it and it comes back, you clean it, it comes back. So it seems to be a problem with these. I can't say cheap because the fridge wasn't cheap, but the lower cost stainless steel appliances. This cabinet is another one that I'll be working on fairly soon. I've got a plan for putting 3 trays, but they'll really be like drawers. And they'll be optimized for bottle storage, actually. I've got 3 bottles that I normally use here in my house. The idea here is that taller, mid-sized, shorter, and they'll all be like individual drawers. That's exactly what I want to do with the entire base cabinets here. I don't want to have any doors on here with shelves on the inside. I think it's just a waste of space. It's too difficult to access. Now out to the middle of the room, I guess you could say, is my old butcher block table here. I had this in my last kitchen. It was perfect there because it fit in the space that I had. Here though, I would like to have something bigger. So one option is an island, but anything that's built in really adds complications to things. So what I'm thinking about doing is building something freestanding that kind of looks like an island. It won't have any sink in there or anything like that, but it will give a lot more counter space in here. And down below you can see some of the bottles that I have to put in that drawer over there. I have a filter system here in the house, but it's not as effective as I would like for getting rid of the flavor that's on the water for my well. Swinging around here past the fridge, you can see a large expanse of blank wall here and the door that goes out back. And this is something else I've been thinking about changing. I wanted to maybe swap this out for a sliding patio door, but a really good quality one. The problem with this door in particular here is this was one I bought really quickly just to close up this thing to get it, you know, sealed up. And it's not the best quality. The one I use out front is a lot better than this one. I would never recommend this one to anyone for anything other than the shed, basically. Just past the doorway again, have this area right here, which is, well, originally I had an idea to build a built-in dinette, kind of an L-shaped bench arrangement with a table. But now I'm thinking more along the lines of individual chairs with a table. I think it'd be more flexible for the area. This area is the only place left on the main floor of the house that the drywall is not done. The wall here is mostly done. It just needs to be touched up a little bit. The ceiling itself is nearly there. What I have happening here is I have this recessed area, and there's going to be an LED strip light all the way around the rim that will shine up into that opening to give me a kind of a interesting lighting detail for the room. I really didn't want to have pendants or anything hanging down to bang into because this area is pretty close actually. Also, you can see I've got a couple of sawhorses set up here. This is where I bring in the new doors that I make for the rooms and put them on here, and I give them a coat of primer before I hang them. Okay, that's it for the tour. I know I've had a few people ask about a complete house tour, but from the beginning, it was my intention to get the entire house finished, at least on the inside. Before I did that, I actually have footage from when I first bought the house 5 years ago, where I walked through and I took a bunch of video, and I'll include that in the, you know, before and after, I guess you could say. As for timing on that, I've got no idea. I still have a lot of work to do here, and there's going to be a bunch of videos coming up on this channel covering a fair bit of that actually. I want to really concentrate on getting this done over the next few months, at least on the main floor. And then I can shift my focus back down to the basement, which is basically really where I started in the beginning. I did a lot of work in there. And I've got a lot of work left to do down there. I got my cleaver hanging up there just to threaten people when they walk in.